Today's topic is all about how to diagnose pericardial effusion with the help of the chest X-ray as well as some concepts related to it. First of all, we start with some basic concepts so that the maximum could understand it. Beginning with the coverings of the heart. The image on the right side will help you with this. The heart has basically three coverings. The innermost covering or the covering closest to the heart component is known as the endocardium. The middle one is known as a myocardium and the outermost one is known as a pericardium. Now this pericardium is structurally important to us because it further classified into various different layers. First it classified into two layers known as the fibrous pericardium and the serous pericardium. The fibrous pericardium is the outermost covering of the whole heart and the serous pericardium is the inner covering to it. This serous pericardium is divided into two different layers. One is known as the parietal serous pericardium and the other one is known as the visceral serous pericardium. Between this parietal and visceral layer, there is a space called as a pericardial cavity which is filled with the pericardial fluid. But if this fluid gets in a sudden manner exceeded to a certain amount, then it causes a pericardial effusion. Now, normally the pericardial cavity contains 30 to 50 ml of clear watery fluid. If this fluid get gradually increasing or slowly accumulating, then 1000 ml can also be accumulated without seriously affecting any cardiac function. But if it is suddenly accumulating or suddenly rise in the fluid, then even 250 ml can cause a deficient diastolic filling in the cardiac chamber. So we'll now see how to detect this case in chest X-ray as well as certain signs and symptoms related to that. First of all, in chest X-ray you have to see whether there is cardiac enlargement or not. If there is a cardiac enlargement, the heart is bulged out. But if it is lately detected or detected in some chronicity stage, then it is severely bulged, and at that time its shape look like some old water bottle on a table, and it is also called as water bottle sign. Apart from that, I have certain key points which will help you to detect this case as well as differentiate this from the rest of the conditions. So on the right there is a normal X-ray and on the left there is a pericardial effusion case X-ray. So the normal X-ray, I have mentioned all these key points which will help you to detect the cases. So the first point is the cardiophrenic angle mark. The second is the distance of the cardiac apex from the costophrenic angle. The third is the space occupied by the heart on the left hemidiaphragm. So the first one, cardiophrenic angle. So you can clearly see in the normal X-ray there is a mark of the cardiophrenic angle on the right side of the heart, which you won't be able to mark on the pericardial effusion. The second is that there is a distance from the cardiac apex from the costophrenic angle, and it is quite large in the normal X-ray. But in the pericardial effusion, as you can see, the cardiac apex is almost reaching the costophrenic angle. The third is the space occupied by the heart on the left hemidiaphragm is very less. But in the pericardial effusion case, which is not normal, so it will occupy the whole left hemidiaphragm space. So these are the three key points which will help you to detect this. Some symptoms like shortness of the breath, dyspnea, that is difficulty in breathing, chest pain or difficulty in breathing in lying position are all the general symptoms. But if the chest pain persists for more than few minutes or any of the above symptoms get complicated or the patient have an unexpected fainting spells are all complicated cases, and these are the emergency ones and this should not be delayed. Apart from that, if the patient does not have the chest X-ray yet, and for certain cases we can also have that heartbeat checked because there is a faint apex heartbeat in these cases, as well as some radiologists also suggest echocardiography because it can be used as a confirmatory test, and it's a test in which the live image is obtained through some sound waves passing through the body. And yes, that's all for today. I hope all your doubts are cleared. Thank you.